Thank you, everybody, for joining us back here at Tacen's channel. We're sitting here once again with Chief Executive Officer and founder of Tacen, Mr. Jay Yang. Now, previously, Jay, you and I got to talk about your past origin stories of Tacen a little bit, but today I want to dive a little bit deeper into the projects themselves. So how are you doing, and are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Let's get into it.
Perfect. So give us first a general overview of everything that Tacen is handling and the problems you guys are tackling.
Yes, so we've recently seen that custodial centralized exchanges are extremely dangerous. It's subject to a lot of things that can go wrong with the operation of the exchange itself. So what we're trying to build is a uh, hybrid version of decentralized exchange that has centralized order book and decentralized settlement layer so that the exchange operators don't have access to client funds and traders can self-custody while having the speed of centralized exchange. So that's in a nutshell, the problem that we're trying to solve.
Okay. And yeah, this is more relevant today than ever, as a lot of people are well aware of the FTX, I guess, scandal. I don't know what you want to call it,
Yep.
tsunami that's kind of hit
Yeah.
everything recently. This is a tale as old as crypto, at least going back to Mount Gox, so on, not your keys, not your crypto, as you said. So it sounds like what you're trying to do is get the best of both worlds, because there are benefits to using centralized exchanges, as you said, having an order book as such. That would be great to bring into the decentralized world and into the decentralized exchanges. So tell me how you plan on doing that. What's the progress so far?
Yeah, so the progress so far is that we have a pre-alpha version of the exchange software working now. So we're now onboarding folks for to give us feedback and for us to hone the user experience. We've also open sourced the settlement layer components of it, so that in the next few coming next few weeks we'll be open sourcing more and more, so that the people who want to operate and be part of the settlement layer, which is open architecture, open settlement layer, they can run their own node, and that'll help with the decentralization of settlement data. So meaning like the settlement data will now be in the domain of the community that's going to operate, and the exchange is not going to be vertically integrated with asset custody and settlement. The How we intend on doing it is, well, when we have a centralized exchange, we still have to. This is like basically an off-chain venue where things are being traded, and when you have an off-chain venue, you still need to have some sort of asset collateralization method, which is a method similar to, say, something like Lightning Network, how they do it. So if you want to create a payment channel, you have to send Bitcoin to some P2SH Bitcoin address, and that is recognized by the Lightning Network, which is layer 2. And for the duration of while you're performing layer 2 payments, it's locked away in that address. So similar to that, the Project TXA's decentralized settlement layer functions in a way similar to that, so that the traders can custody and immobilize their own fund, and the exchanges that operate on top of the settlement layer recognizes the fact that the asset's been locked away for the duration of whatever trader wants to trade. And when the trade happens, executed trade has 3 signatures: buyer's signature, seller's signature, and the exchange's signature, so that we know the provenance of the event. And that gets recorded by the validators that are community operated, or validators we call settlement data providers. And these settlement data providers then, when settlement is requested, provide obligation between traders for their peer-to-peer settlement. And we are coming up with a really good way to reduce possibility of collusion among the validators, and way to quickly prove whether a reported obligation between the traders has a origin in a properly conducted trades. So we're getting really close to updating updating a system so that it includes all those fraud prevention methods. And in next 3 months, we're seeking to have an open alpha that's going to run on test nets of many different blockchains, so that the settlement layer sits on all of those blockchains, and then the exchanges can build on top of the settlement layer, so that exchanges, not just ours, not just Tacen's, but everybody else's, can also take advantage of cross-chain settlement. So I'm sorry about the very long-winded answer, but that's sort of how things are going to be working.
No, yeah, fair enough. And a lot of this stuff would be happening largely behind the scenes, as you said. And I'm kind of curious from there. So obviously, you guys are still in the phase of building and kind of rolling this stuff out. But when it comes to any sort of exchange, centralized, decentralized, one of the biggest things or pain points is getting people to adopt and use your exchange. What's the plan there?
Yeah, so I think that first thing is to make sure that there are liquidity available in the exchange. So no one's going to trade if there's no one on the other side of the trade. And so the thing that we're working really hard is to basically recruit liquidity providers and go out and say, hey, like, I know you guys are operating trading desks, and I know you guys, you guys have sufficient money to able to populate the book. Hey, let's work with us so that there's a market at the very beginning. I mean, that's the really, like, if you get down to it, that is the function of a market maker. The market maker function isn't necessarily to, like, at the very beginning, a lot of people vilify them, but at the very beginning, when there's no market, you need market makers to basically populate the
Kickoff
books.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, precisely. And we want to make sure that it's worthwhile for the market makers, so that we'll be giving out basically what's called a maker fee rebate, which means that for providing those liquidity, they might even earn a little bit of fee for putting orders into order book. And we also want to make sure that there are a lot of traders from the other side coming in, and what that requires, combination of marketing, working with various developers for integrating into their own software. So, for example, wallet developers, non-custodial wallet developers might want to integrate with a low to no KYC exchange solution like ours. And the reason for that is, well, if you're a non-custodial wallet, last thing your users expect is to be thrown into KYC flow that the exchange partners request, right? So meaning, like, what I have to now take a picture of my passport to use my, and that's silly, right? So the exchange, like what we're building, will have low to no requirement on KYC for a certain amount, or there's a risk-based thing, which means that for vast majority of people, if you just want to trade, asset for asset, but you want to get like the speed, execution speed, and the cross-chain settlement potential, then it should be no-brainer for them to just integrate with us. So we're right now in the recruiting phase of both sides of these things. And finally, I think that general public is ready for the idea of self-custody when it comes to even operating with an exchange. So when they want to trade, I think that we're gonna see more acceptance of, oh, you know what? I don't need to follow these workflow to send them my money and my identity. This day and age, I should just be able to trade my own money. And that mental shift hasn't happened yet, but I think we're getting there with unfortunately with the latest crisis.
Yeah, I think this is an idea that I thought was really coming around the bend more back in about 2018. It seemed like decentralized exchanges would be the way to go. But in reality, and this is the real thing, it is so much easier to onboard brand new people into crypto with centralized exchanges. And until that gets fixed, or until the industry just matures to where there's more people looking for better options, For instance, yeah, I started out, I think, on Coinbase. Now I do most of my stuff on PancakeSwap. So
Yep.
like that's basically the life's how people usually do the transition. So it's a little bit of time, but like you said, I think a lot of light, unfortunately, not positive light, has been shined on the necessity of not having your coins, your crypto in any way, shape, or form in the custody of somebody else. And this is a very, very good solution for that. And Jay, I look forward to learning more about it as we continue to film. But I think that's a good wrap up here for now. If anyone
Yep.
has any questions, again, don't be afraid to reach out and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Jay, any closing words from you?
Yeah, so we just keep building. This is a very bad market for everyone. And in fact, investment is drying up. But that's all we can do right now is keep the message out there and keep building and keep showing the examples of what we can do that is going to fix the problem from by you can fix this actually with technology. So that's what we're gonna do.
Perfect. Well, Jay, again, thank you so much for your time today. Please have a wonderful day.
Thank you.